Now it is another good time. After representing to you our last topic that talked on the interaction that has been between the black people of the African continent and the people of Egypt and the Middle East at large. Today, now we are going to explain to you, to give you an interpretation concerning various images and drawings as you can see here. Now then, what is going to happen? And sometimes there may be a question that why have I told you all that first? I have told you all that first so as to give you a historical perspective in providing ecological, religious, and traditional proofs that in order to gain a proper understanding of the real basis for enabling us to accurately interpret all drawings and symbols and texts related to the ancient rituals, we have to study in depth their history in relation to the whole culture of their ancient lives, as I will now begin to explain the meaning of the symbols of these drawings here in the paper and in these pieces of stone. Therefore, in interpreting the diagram of these ritual images that you see in this piece of stone, I will classify each diagram in a total of three parts as follows. The upper part of each shape of the respective diagram, the upper part here, therefore will be the central part of each relevant diagram. The central part here, therefore, will be the lower part from the neck here downward to the legs, where the legs are ending. This will be the lower part of each relevant diagram. Thus, in dividing each diagram into a total of three parts of the rhetorical interpretation, we find the truth as follows. In the first section here, on the shape, the sketch with ribs in the upper part of the figure carved in this piece of stone represents the priests offering the flesh of the ribs of those slaughtered animals as a ritual sacrifice. And in the upper part, a two prolonged figure located between the neck here and the head in this shape carved in this piece of stone refers to the flesh of the ribs of slaughtered animals as a ritual sacrifice. So in the lower part that starts from the neck here to the bottom of the legs here is a giraffe-shaped neck. This one here is a giraffe-shaped neck, as you can see. You can compare here, starting from here up to here. This legs and tail, and the neck at this piece of stone is outlining the characteristics of the people who are supposed to perform the rituals, meaning that the people concerned must have the characteristics of the giraffe in the ability to see its enemies spiritually or miraculously while still far from, and ability to fight the enemy like giraffe by using its both front and back legs. What does this mean? When in ancient days, when an animal was slaughtered, it is not every part of the meat of the animal slaughtered were allowed to be offered for sacrifices, for ritual practices. No, there was a selection for a meat that was deserved to be offered by the priests. And that's why the ribs, the part of the meat with ribs was selected to be offered by the priests while performing the rituals. So when you see this meat with ribs being located on the top side of the image, it represents honor. Honor meaning the offering is a honored sacrifice which is supposed to be offered to gods which were most highly honored. So being this drawing of the meat of ribs being put on the top side, where actually if it is a drawing of a human being, actually the head could be here. So being on the top part meaning is a high honor to this offering that is to be offered by the priest. So this illustration from here representing the neck of a giraffe indicates that this priest must be someone with a very long vision, spiritual vision, to see an enemy still so far visionary or miraculously, and find the strategies how to prevent or how to defend the enemy not to enter in the kingdom which was served by the relevant priests, or not to reach to the area where the rituals was performed. And also this illustration here showing the front legs of the giraffe and the back legs was outlining that this person who is to serve the priestly office was supposed to have power or ability like the ability that the giraffe had through its legs, both front and back legs, that can fight with all of his legs, fighting the enemy, to defeat the enemy. So a person who was selected to serve the priestly office was supposed to have these giraffe characteristics. And even in the country of Tanzania, it is undisputable fact that this ecological, religious, and traditional interpretation of the ancient people of the African continent even now still completely agree with the beliefs and the tradition of the people of Tanzania regarding the giraffe animal as the national emblem. And this is why the nation of Tanzania, respecting the emblem, the image of the giraffe, or the animal of giraffe as the emblem of the nation, is not an accidental event or occasion. It is a prophetic event. It is a prophetic occasion that is outlining that the nation of Tanzania is a nation that can visionary cipher, that has power or ability to fight his or its enemies. And also even having a flag of the nation on the top mountain, the tallest African mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro. That event is not an accidental occasion, but it is an occasion which is a prophetic occasion. That the image of the giraffe being used as a symbol is a traditional matter derived from the traditional genetic ancestors who preceded the relevant tradition on the land of this country to date. That these occasions, events, had been already prophesied before, since the 7th century BC. And therefore, today, in our today's topic, which has discussed on the section related to the interpretation of racial drawings of the ancient black African priests from the African continent, then we are just ending here by today. Till next time, when we will represent you another relevant topics. Also, we would like to invite all those who like to learn more about the interpretation of these ancient symbols of the origins of the black people of the African continent. Welcome you back for our next episode. Thank you so much. Submitted to you by Reverend Professor Stephen Ovio Kitaro. Our contact is +255 787 000 596. Our email is stephenkitaro@gmail.com. Welcome so much.